you seen the pricing for the PS5? I did. Yeah, it was one thing I want to talk about too. So if you guys don't know, the PS5 Pro is being priced at what? $799? Was it $699 or $799? $699? Yeah, that's crazy. $699 no disc drive, and that's just for the PS5 Pro. Clearly, it is a testing of the waters for next gen, where they're trying to go up big. No more disc drives, bigger cost. I don't know, man. It'll be interesting to see how well this sells. No disc drive, no vertical stand. Yeah, exactly. Shocker. No games? Well, they have, Astrobot's good, from my understanding. Shit's happening. Probably not enough games to like PS2 era, but does feel like a gaming PC victory lap. But I feel like Sony is doing a lot to botch their lead. If you guys don't know, let me give you a status in the gaming industry. Xbox is actually doing pretty damn bad. Xbox is not selling what they thought they would sell, and they're not getting the Game Pass subscriptions they thought they would get. And so all of the money they spent to buy those big studios like Bethesda and Activision Blizzard, they're getting nervous about, and they are more likely going to make those games multi-platform than they were going to before, because they haven't sold enough physical consoles or Game Pass subscriptions to make it worthwhile. They're not going to get their money back, and they need to make some of the money back they spent. So it's good for gamers because there's more likely to be multi-platform. However, because Xbox is falling behind, I feel like Sony is like losing whatever tiny bit of push they had to be a normal company. Sony is losing whatever fire they had to try and compete. They are literally doing some of the dumbest decisions recently, and this PS5 Pro feels very anti-consumer, anti-gamer. So I don't know how it's going to play out, but I will say, like, going into this announcement, PS5 has been outselling Xbox like, I don't know, 2 or 3 to 1 as of late. Like PS5 has really pulled ahead. Yeah, maybe Nintendo, new Nintendo or something. 5 to 1? Is it 5 to 1? I'll have to verify, but it is quite high. I know that. And so it's just interesting for both companies. Microsoft is in a bad spot because they've spent so much goddamn money and didn't get a lead. That's crazy. Crazy how much money they threw at it and it didn't sell more consoles. And then Sony, who's like, I feel like gamers just like the way the PS5 looks or something. I don't know what it is because they're almost functionally indistinguishable, especially like 2 years ago. But PS5 just started selling more and they never stopped. It's also the way that console friend dynamics work, where it's like once your friends have the same console, you buy the same console because everything just works better together. You know, it snowballs. So once PS5 gets a little bit ahead, it starts snowballing, and now it's out of control. It's interesting to see how Xbox responds. They are definitely looking at they were hoping to be way closer and have more Game Pass sales because Xbox is trying to fight for a post-console future. Like, as far as Xbox is concerned, they don't even want to make another console. They want to go all cloud. That's their goal. They want to be all cloud, and they want to have the store for cloud to be like the Steam of cloud. That's what they want. That's how they see their big money. They don't care about console wars. But the fact they lost this one so badly is fucking up their plans. So it's interesting. It's very interesting. At the same time, the entire gaming industry is getting shaken up by the fact that AAA games are flopping left and right and indie games are outperforming. So like all the people that thought they had more power than they did are getting awoken to the fact that they're getting outcompeted by some Roblox furry in his bedroom. It's just interesting. Time for quadruple A games. Quintuple A games. That's what they need. Ubisoft tried a quadruple A and it flopped, but a quintuple. And then, people have mentioned it, but Black Myth Wukong, the was up Beijing of it all, is that China is stepping onto the world stage in terms of AAA full-fledged games. China has a massive amount of game developers and a huge homegrown audience. Black Myth Wukong sold GTA type numbers in China, and they're only going to make more. It's a growth industry there. So it's going to be interesting. There's competition all over. And companies like Ubisoft are getting absolutely torched. So while Microsoft will be fine, Sony will be fine, even EA will be fine, Ubisoft is like caught in the middle of a changing industry and getting destroyed. Ubisoft stock hits a fresh low like every day. Star Wars Outlaws, despite being, I would say a mid to maybe even above mid game, like a 7 out of 10. Not the worst thing Ubisoft's put out. You know, a fun idea. Something's kind of shitty. I like the gambling. It has sold poorly. Despite the fact that they got Ludwig to make a 40-minute ad for it, it sold poorly. It sold poorly. And so Star Wars Outlaws is a game they spent a lot of money on. Star Wars license ain't cheap. And I saw activist investors who own shares in Ubisoft basically saying, all of the management and CEO should be fired. After they reported Outlaw sales numbers, people are now getting mad. Everyone that owns stock in this company are getting mad because they're just seeing their value drift and drift and drift, and they're like, it's complete shit show. So Ubisoft is either due to be bought out, bankruptcy, or go private. They might go private just to stop the shareholders from revolting. I mean, something's going to happen. Although, don't cheer on it too much. This is the investor. He wants to dethrone Ubisoft's founders so Ubisoft can lay more devs off. He wants to fire the founders so he can also fire the devs. Not exactly. Again, don't think of the investor as a hero, more as someone who just really wants to make fucking money off his investment, and they keep making games that don't sell. Anyway, it's interesting. What I'll tell you is that it's interesting. The gaming industry is, real pivotal shakeup moment where like new players are rising to the top, and a lot of people that thought they were secure and safe are getting the ground ripped underneath them. It's haven't found a job in the game industry in over a year. Yeah, I've heard I have friends who are devs. It's tough. It's tough, dude. Lots of layoffs. Just make every game a gacha game. Now you're thinking like an investor. Just get assimilated into Valve, bro. Yeah, just work at Valve. Wait, I'm sorry. You're a game developer and you don't have money? Just work at Valve, where everyone gets paid millions to make no games. It's simple. I don't know why you even thought of it. It's almost like loot box games are killing the industry. Well, I want to be clear. The industry is not dying. It's just an extreme shakeup moment. The demand for games is anything higher than ever. People are playing more games than before. People are spending more time on games. It's just that the way things have been done isn't working. And AAA studios that all hired a bunch and spent a bunch of money to make these big live service games they thought they were going to make money on forever, a lot of them are flopping. Concord's a big example, but a lot of games are just doing smaller versions of Concord that are failing, or less floppy but not big enough. Live service is only being won by very few games. Roblox, Fortnite, Valorant, and some of the Riot Squad. Like, there's only a few games that are really surviving, and every other game can't make it work. Even games that were huge hits that still made a lot of money, like Helldivers 2 and Pow World, couldn't keep up live service. Live service is hard and takes lightning in a bottle. Companies like Sony that thought it would be easy, that they could throw money at it. It's not working. Entering into the live service market is a gotcha in itself. Imagine the CEO of Sony just putting another $100 million into the spin. Please, 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 please give me a 5-star live service game. Please, 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 please. Gray again. Gray again. The new big market is sweepstakes mobile games, which is basically a way around real money slot machine gambling. Is that like Monopoly? I do know that the Monopoly mobile game made $2 billion. in like the first year. Whatever it is just sucks money out of people's pockets instantly. I don't know exactly how the mechanics work, but it's like the most profitable mobile game ever. My manager uses 4 phones to play Monopoly Go at work. I would not be able to work for... That's so sad. Bro, how does that... And that guy tells you to work weekends or something? That guy tells you to stay extra? Well, he's gambling on 4 phones on company time. It's actually going to cause legislation change because of all the old people that play it. Yeah, I mean, if enough old people get scammed, they'll finally stop it. So I guess that's the silver lining. If Zoomers get scammed, they won't care. But if old people get scammed, not even get scammed, just get hooked on it. It's a legal scam. It's not illegal, but they might find a way to regulate it. Can you imagine if they knew all of these monetization tricks for Bejeweled back in like the early 2000s? My parents would be broke. My mom played Bejeweled like it was fentanyl in the veins. I would be living on the street, dude. Basically, in sweeps games, you play slot machines free, and then you can purchase packages with sweeps coins, and you can use those sweeps coins to play slots for real money. It's just putting money in a slot machine with one extra step. It's so funny how you can do that in America, and they're like, well, it's legal. It's legal now. We never said a dog couldn't play basketball. We never said you couldn't use the Chuck E. Cheese tokens that you bought with money to gamble. Yeah, it's how Japan does Pachinko too, exactly. Same way. It's just a way around the gambling. Will this convince you to play Astrobot? Oh, dude. If you think I need convincing to play Astrobot, you're crazy. I'm gonna play it. Not only am I gonna play it, I'm gonna play it to completion. Go. Play. I actually talked to Squeaks. I talked to Squeaks on Discord, and I said, hey, low key, don't lie to me. No jokes, no memes, which is hard with Squeaks. I said, tell me your honest review of Astrobot. And he said, it's incredible. It's up there with some of the best Mario games. That's a stunning review. That's an all in, don't skip. So I will be playing it.